Have you ever thought about how climate change affects our beautiful coral reefs? These vibrant underwater cities, teeming with life and colour, are facing a dire situation. Coral reefs, the rainforests of the sea, play a pivotal role in our ecosystem. They provide shelter and food for countless marine species, contribute to local economies through tourism, and act as natural barriers against coastal erosion. But these magnificent ecosystems are under threat. Rising ocean temperatures, a direct consequence of climate change, stress the coral, leading to a phenomenon known as bleaching. Pollution, overfishing and diseases are also wreaking havoc on these underwater metropolises. In Florida, these factors have led to a staggering 90% drop in healthy coral cover since the 1970s. It's a bleak picture, painted by decades of neglect and the relentless march of global warming. The clock is ticking, and the race to save these underwater treasures is on. In this race against time, humans are not standing idle. The Coral Restoration Foundation, a Florida-based non-profit organization, is making waves with their innovative approach to coral restoration. They've taken on the monumental task of planting corals raised by humans. You heard that right, planting corals, much like one would plant a tree. This process involves breeding individual corals on land, either by setting the mood for them to reproduce sexually, or by encouraging them to clone themselves by fragmenting coral colonies. Each fragment then grows into a new colony. These baby corals are eventually planted at sea, where they form reefs that support thousands of other species. But the challenges faced by these conservationists are numerous. Rising ocean temperatures caused by climate change stress the already struggling reefs. In the summer of 2023, water temperatures reached levels similar to that of a hot tub, leading to an unprecedented coral bleaching event. This decimated almost all of the young corals that had been planted at some reef sites. In the face of such adversity, these conservationists are undeterred. They continue to hustle, working tirelessly to replenish the reefs. After the young corals are planted, they revisit them regularly to monitor their progress. In the past, this was a manual process. Conservationists would swim out to the reefs, take notes on individual corals they had planted using a pencil and waxy waterproof paper. But this strategy was time-consuming and risked missing the bigger picture, the health of the reef as a whole, so they adapted. They transitioned from taking notes by hand to snapping images with GoPros. Back on shore, they used software to stitch these images together into three-dimensional photo mosaics. This gives them a new vantage point for monitoring their restoration efforts. But even with these efforts, tracking the progress is a tedious task. Can technology offer a better solution? Enter artificial intelligence, a powerful ally in our fight to save the reefs. AI has been a game-changer in coral restoration, with its ability to analyze three-dimensional maps of reefs. This gives researchers a bird's-eye view of the reef, enabling them to monitor the restoration process like never before. What's unique about this approach is that it doesn't just focus on individual corals. Instead, it considers the health of the entire reef community. It's like taking a step back to see the big picture rather than just looking at the individual pieces of the puzzle. This is crucial because restoring the reefs is not just about saving one coral at a time, but about restoring an entire ecosystem. One tool leading the charge is Cerulean AI, developed by the Coral Restoration Foundation. This innovative tool uses AI to meticulously scan and analyze the reefs, providing invaluable data about their health and progress. Imagine being able to see the whole forest, not just the trees. That's what Cerulean AI does for coral reefs. But it's not just about monitoring. The data collected by Cerulean AI can help researchers identify patterns and trends, which can then inform their restoration strategies. Are certain types of corals responding better to the restoration efforts? Are there areas of the reef that need more attention? These are the kind of questions that AI can help answer. AI is not just making the process more efficient, it's providing new insights to make a bigger impact. It's giving us the tools to fight back against climate change and to ensure that our coral reefs have a fighting chance. The fight to save the world's coral reefs is not just for scientists and conservationists. It's a fight that involves each and every one of us. You too can play a role. By donating to organizations involved in restoration efforts, spreading the word about the plight of our reefs, or even volunteering your time, you can make a difference. And let's not forget the biggest battle of all, combating climate change. It's time we all took a stand to protect these vibrant, life-sustaining ecosystems. Together we can turn the tide and ensure the survival of our precious coral reefs.